What's going on, guys? Ponyline here. I've had a lot of recent requests asking me about making a tutorial for flying planes in Battlefield 1. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to advanced tutorials, so I'm going to make this a very entry-level one. There'll be a lot of new players in Battlefield 1, and I figured this would be the best way to help a lot of those players that are coming over to the franchise and want to know how to fly a plane. Before you ever try to fly a plane in an actual public server, I suggest that you go and find an empty server first, and then fly around until you get used to the mechanics of the plane. This will help save your team and you a lot of hassle, and it will be the best way for you to go ahead and learn how to fly. Regardless of which type of plane you choose to fly, there are some very important flight mechanics that you should know to be able to excel on the battlefield. The very first one that I recommend is choosing whether you want to fly between first or third person. I myself prefer to fly in third person, and this is because it gives me a wider range of what's going on around me. I'm able to see what's going on in the battlefield, and I'm also able to aim at my target without a lot of the clutter in front of me that you might get in first person. A second very important mechanic you should know when flying is how to use your free look. First off, you have to be in first person to be able to use this, and I suggest you find out what button or what key it is in your keyboard in order to utilize this. When you're using free look, you're not able to turn your plane, so make sure that you're flying in a trajectory where you're not going to crash. When using free look, it allows you to look around you in almost a 360-degree angle to be able to spot targets and see where the enemy is. The best way to utilize free look is to go high into the sky. This allows you to be able to encompass more of what's going on in the battlefield and allows you a longer time to be able to engage your target on the ground. The last flight mechanic I want to go ahead and talk about is the self-repair function. Unlike in Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, where your plane would automatically repair itself to full health, in this game you need to repair your own plane back to full health. It's very important to note that if you ever get any kind of mobility disable or any part of your plane is damaged and it's actually causing your plane to wobble around, if you repair yourself one time, it'll allow yourself to get that mobility disable off, and then you're able to fly away. The best way to go ahead and fix yourself is to fly up into the sky. It is important to note that if you take any kind of fire, whether it be small arms fire from a plane, any kind of fire whatsoever, it'll automatically stop your repair function. The button or the key that will be needed to go ahead and repair your plane will show up on your screen as you're taking damage. So just make sure you're taking note of your health, and when it's needed, go ahead and fix your plane. With basic flight mechanics covered, the next important topic is to go into the different types of planes and your target selection that you should have for each of these planes. The first plane, which is the lightest and most maneuverable of the planes, and also seems to be the fastest, is the fighter plane. Now, in regards to the loadouts, I'm not going to go into all the specifics of the different types of loadouts you can choose. The best way to go about this is to go into the customize screen and go over each of the loadouts, and I'll give you a description of what all the loadouts do, as well as what buttons do what functions for the plane. In regards to the fighter plane, it is a very solo-esque type of a plane. You're responsible as a pilot to go ahead and engage air first. Once there's no other air targets in the air, then you should be able to engage infantry and vehicles. The attack plane is a completely different scenario because it's a two-seater plane. You have a gunner on your back that is capable of watching your six. They're also able to shoot forward and hit your targets that you're shooting at. This plane is much more capable of engaging both air and the ground, but it is not very good at engaging fighter planes. So if you're fighting other attack planes or bombers, that is okay. Otherwise, I would let your gunner try to do all the damage possible behind you. The best way to utilize this plane is to have a gunner that you are actually able to talk to, and that way you can work together. The third and final type of plane is the bomber plane. This is a three-seater plane. It's much slower. It can take a lot more damage, but at the same time, it's only meant to engage ground targets, whether it be ground vehicles or whether it be infantry. You're very exposed, and it's very necessary to have gunners that you're actually able to talk to, because you're going to need to make sure that you work together to be able to keep planes off your back and planes that are coming from the front. Now, as I stated before, guys, the best way to go ahead and learn how to fly is to just go into an empty server. Choose the different types of planes that you want to fly with and get used to how they work. Get used to the mechanics, and that way when you go into a public server, you're going to be very useful to your team. I hope you found this information useful. Like I said, guys, this is a very entry-level tutorial. Let me know if you'd like more videos like this in the future, and please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Have a good one, guys.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let's start this video off right. We flank our tank on top of a cliff and we're gonna jump off the top rope in mid-air, drop behind enemy lines and pick up a triple kill. Welcome to the game type Rush. In Rush, the attacking forces must find and destroy the defending forces' telegraph post by planting and defending a bomb at both bomb sites from oncoming defusing defenders. Defenders can also use these telegraph posts to call in artillery strikes. Now, as an attacker, your objective is to destroy both bomb sites before your tickets run out. A ticket is a respawn. You can see in the top middle of the screen, someone died and respawned already, so we dropped one ticket. Now the objective is to plant the bomb, and I'm trying to defend it with a few tripwire mines, and that's going to do a good job defending the bomb site. But just to be sure, I throw a little dynamite, you get a few kabooms, and that's how you do it. Defending the bomb site, that's the name of the game. Now, if you plant, defend, and destroy both bomb sites before you respawn 75 times, you get to move on to the next sector of the map. You do that for 3-4 sectors, and then you win the game. It gets increased difficulty the closer you get to winning, and there's a little bit of tanks, there's a few horses. Vehicles aren't that big of a factor as it is in Conquest, but you can see I jumped on one of the weaker vehicles in Battlefield 1, a Jeep with the MG on top of it, but it does work. I take 3 people out by the B bomb site and then I get launched into space. But I really like Rush because I can also reinforce my team with a tank. And now if you see a tank on the enemy team and you're defending, you have to kill it just because it's such a big factor. It's mostly soldiers on the ground, and a big tip I can give to new Battlefield players: if you're using the medic kit, use the medical syringe and revive your teammates so they're not wasting your tickets respawning. You can just pick them up on the battlefield. That doesn't waste a ticket. If you get out of your tank as an attacker and give it over to the enemy team, that's a huge mistake, because how it's balanced out is, as an attacker, you're supposed to get vehicles at first, but once you push on the brink of victory, then the defenders start to get the armor, and it just progressively gets more and more difficult the further you get attacking on the game type Rush. Now, I'm taking the time to repair this tank just because it's so important of a vehicle and a game changer. But in the game type Rush, after you plant and destroy the bombs at both the A and B bomb site, you take over the sector, and then the defenders have to fall back, refortify, and you can kind of see they're in this cave system. There's this huge choke point, and it's really difficult the further and further you get as an attacker. And this caused me a little bit of rage in the play session that we had, because it was just so difficult. We're fighting back and forth and we finally pushed through the cave, and you can see that we're literally on the brink of losing. We have 0 tickets left. New people to the series might think we've lost because we have 0 tickets, but remember, a ticket counts as a respawn, and basically think of that as sudden death overtime. When you have 0 tickets, there's no more respawning, and we just barely destroyed the B bomb site, took over the sector, and pushed the enemies back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video on Battlefield 1 Rush. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you learned something, youtube.com/whiteboy7street. I have a cool video showing off the most popular game type in Battlefield 1 Conquest. I would say Rush is a close number 2. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.